Hello, you ladies. I just want to introduce myself quickly. So I'm Belinda and I've been on this GLP-1 journey since September 2022. And today I want to talk honestly about what maintenance really looks like, because it's not just the tidy chapter we imagine it to be. And I also want to give a disclaimer. I'm not a doctor. Do not take any of what I say as medical advice. So let's rewind to Sunday, August the 31st. That was the day that I got violently ill from food poisoning, and it lasted until Friday, I think 5th of September. So it was 4 or 5 solid days by the time it had passed, and I was 7 pounds down. I hit my 7 stone target, the number that I'd been chasing for years, 3 years, but I hit it. But not obviously in the way that I wanted to. And I remember laughing to myself through the actual exhaustion, thinking, of course I would hit my goddamn target this way, being violently ill. 3 days later, Monday, September the 8th, the 7 pounds that I'd lost came straight back up again. Those 7 pounds weren't mine. It was fluid and it was being violently ill. So my dreams were dashed, and that's the story of my life. So I didn't take my medication that week or the week after. Actually, I left 16 days between my injections in total. By September 16th, I was finally ready to take my first dose again after being so unwell. Now, obviously, there was no way that I was going to start back at 15 milligram, which is what I was on previously to being ill. Definitely not after leaving that much of a gap. So I thought, let's be sensible, start at 7.5 milligram and build back up. And I did. For the first few days on the 7.5 milligram, I thought, oh my God, this is amazing. I'm on 7.5 milligram and I've no appetite. No such luck. Within days of that 7.5 milligram, my appetite came back like a bat out of hell. So the plan was simple. Start back from the beginning, from where I should have begun titrating down from in the first place, 15 milligram. So I was started on the 7.5 and I have worked my way back up to 15 milligram, and today is October 24th, 2025, and I've now gone all the way from 7.5 back up to 15 since the middle of September. Now, please keep in mind, I have been taking this medication for 3 solid years. I didn't have any side effects titrating up that quickly because of the amount of time that I've been on that medication. I would not recommend anybody else do that unless they've been on medication that as long as I have. Always speak to your doctor or your prescriber if you're going to do anything like that. So I've been here on 15 milligrams for 2 weeks and I'm going back to my normal baseline. And my baseline is swinging between 2, 3, 4 pounds up, down, up, down. It's nonstop, and it's been like that for months now. And that's when I had to sit down and have a word with myself and realize something very important. And that is that we think maintenance starts the minute the scale hits that magic number, but it doesn't. Maintenance starts when your body and your mind are both ready to hold that number, not chase it and not fear it, just hold it. Because this isn't a race. It's what I call behavioral calibration. When your body has calibrated to that number and is happy to stay there with the behaviors that you have learned through your GLP-1 journey. So what's my plan going forward? Do I keep chasing that magic 7 pounds loss to get me back to my 7 stone loss? Or do I take stock of how far I've actually come? And I've decided to give myself 3 more full weeks on 15 milligram. And I think I'll be mentally ready then. And my plan for titrating down is going to look like this. I will spend 4 weeks at 12.5 milligrams. In that month, I'll be testing how my habits, my hunger, mood and energy line up at that dose before I make another move. Because maintenance, for me, cannot be about staying good. It has to be about fine-tuning the routines that have carried me through the past 3 years. And those habits are what keep me steady now, prioritizing my protein and fiber every single day, lifting weights and building muscle instead of chasing a smaller number, drinking enough water, sleeping properly, checking in with how I feel, not just what I weigh, and refusing to let old diet culture thoughts sneak back in. And that's behavioral calibration in real life. Me observing, adjusting and refining instead of judging and restricting. When you hit your target and you decide to go into maintenance, your brain doesn't magically switch to peace. You still wake up and practice the same thoughts and habits you've been practicing for the length of your journey on this medication. And if you're not mindful, you'll mistake less suppression for I'm broken. And you're not broken. You're just in the next phase, the phase that asks you to trust your habits that you have built over your journey. The phase where you need to trust your habits more than your medication. So if you're listening to this thinking, I can't wait to move to maintenance, my advice is don't rush it. Respect it, because this phase isn't about staying perfect, it's about staying aware. And by aware, I mean noticing things. Notice how your hunger shifts, notice how your energy feels, notice how your thoughts react when the medication eases off a little bit. Maintenance isn't about getting smaller, and it can't be. It's about staying steady, mentally, physically, and emotionally, while titrating down on this medication.